I still remember some time ago, I used to know this guy. He was broke, skinny, short, not good looking, had dropped out of high school and didn't finish his studies, and he was the laziest and most unsuccessful person I had ever seen in my life. But somehow, he was successful with girls. He was always going out with a new girl, and whenever I asked him how he did it, or whenever I talked to him and tried to analyze his personality, I discovered that he was extremely toxic, narcissistic, and manipulative, among other things. Of course, he was a failure when it came to long-term relationships, but he could always make girls obsessed with him. When I started studying psychology and went deeper into the psychology of women and started thinking about how he used to talk to girls and how he treated them, I was able to understand his secret. There was a strategy he was using unconsciously because of the toxic traits he had, which made girls get attached to him. So before I tell you what this strategy is and how to use it, I have two conditions for you. The first condition is that this technique is simple and dangerous, but don't overuse it and don't use it for evil, please. Yes, maybe you can use it at first with a girl to get her obsessed, but it's not a long-term relationship strategy. The second condition, if you are a stalker or have a mental issue, please don't watch this video, and I am not responsible for how you're going to use what I'm going to explain to you. This strategy is called the emotional debt loop. It's based on a principle that goes like this: make her feel like she owes you an emotional response, but never let her pay it back. Don't worry, I'm going to explain how to do this step by step, but please listen carefully, because I'm about to explain to you one of the most important ways your brain operates. If you give someone a moment that feels emotionally charged, then deny them the chance to respond to it properly, they don't forget it, they loop. And what makes the emotional debt loop so powerful is that the person you trap inside it believes it's their fault. They think they missed the moment. They should have said something more. They could have connected deeper, but didn't. Now they walk away feeling off because they think they failed you emotionally, even if you didn't ask them for anything. You didn't give her a problem to solve. You gave her a feeling she couldn't resolve. You're creating an emotional imbalance that she'll want to fix and won't be able to because you won't let her. That's the loop. And that loop is what makes people obsess. This is the reason why people replay arguments in the shower, why they remember the one that got away, why they still think about someone who made them feel exposed, uncertain, and never gave them closure, because the debt wasn't paid. You don't need to be intense or dramatic or toxic. In fact, this strategy works best when you're calm, chill, like you weren't even aware you were creating a moment. The more casually you drop it, the more she feels like she missed something important. And since you don't react emotionally, she assumes the moment meant more to her than to you. Now she feels weak. She feels underconnected. She feels like she didn't give enough when she had the chance. And now her mind needs resolution. It needs to do better next time. It needs to redeem itself emotionally. That's the psychological engine behind obsession. The loop is about making her feel like she let something slip and that it might be too late to get it back. So now she leans in harder. She invests more because she's chasing the version of herself that she didn't fully give to you. And you don't let her give it. You stay one emotional step ahead. Every time she thinks she's about to break through to something real with you, you vanish, you deflect, you shift, you smile like it was nothing. So she never gets the moment she's trying to earn. And that's why she stays hooked, because the loop doesn't end. And every time she tries to close it, you create a new one. And that's why I told you at the beginning of the video that the first time I discovered this strategy, it was from someone extremely toxic. So please, I'm not Jesus to tell you what to do, and I don't care how you choose to use it, but please don't use it for evil. By the way, I wrote an ebook specifically about this type of manipulation strategy that I can't talk about on YouTube because it goes against the platform's policy. I'll leave the link in the first comment. So how do you use this strategy and how do you apply it? There are 3 steps and I'm going to explain them to you in detail. And by the end of the video, you'll walk away knowing exactly how to apply it without any effort. Step 1, give her a moment she doesn't deserve and act like it meant nothing to you. Here's what this means in practice. You drop something emotionally charged, not too deep, just slightly personal, slightly meaningful, and completely unearned. She didn't ask for it. She didn't deserve that level of access, but you give it anyway, like it slipped out of you naturally, as if you weren't guarding anything. The key is that it feels real, not heavy, not dramatic, just slightly out of place for how early or casual the interaction is. For example, you're both sitting in a coffee shop, joking about something dumb, and you suddenly say, "I hate how people only reach out when they need something. It's made me cut off people I used to love." Or, "I don't really trust people who smile all the time. They usually have something to hide." Then you sip your coffee. Change the subject, like it didn't matter. No dramatic pause, no sad look. You're not playing emotional victim. You're calm, distant, normal. And that's what fucks with her, because her brain catches it late. It registers as something meaningful, but the moment's already passed. And because you didn't act like it was important, she assumes she missed something that was. This creates a feeling inside her: guilt, confusion, curiosity, all at once. She starts wondering, wait, did that mean something? Why didn't I say anything? Was that a test? Did I miss a deeper version of him? She now feels like she didn't meet you at the emotional level you offered. That's the imbalance. wants. That's the emotional debt. And here's the genius. You weren't being vulnerable. You were setting a trap. You gave her a piece of you too early on purpose just to watch her fumble it. Now, the next time you talk, she's more emotionally alert. She's trying to make up for it without realizing why. She's more curious about you. She wants to know more because she feels like she fucked up an opportunity to connect. You made her feel like she dropped the ball, and then you forgave her silently by not mentioning it. That forgiveness she never asked for, that's the hook. She now sees you as someone she owes a deeper version of herself to. She'll try to offer that version later when you're no longer giving anything back, and that creates a craving she'll try to satisfy, not by asking you for more, but by giving you more over and over again, hoping to rebalance the moment you made her feel she failed. In short, you handed her emotional responsibility and then disappeared like it wasn't a big deal. Step 2, let her open up, then punish her for it. This is where you flip the power. In step 1, you gave her a glimpse of your inner world and let her feel like she failed to respond. Now, you let her try to make up for it, and then you punish her for finally giving you what she thinks you wanted. Here's how it works. At some point, she'll start trying to rebalance the emotional scales. It might be a small personal story, it might be a confession, it might be a joke that's actually layered with insecurity. She'll offer it carefully, lightly, but you'll feel the shift. This is the first time she's giving you something slightly vulnerable. She's not doing it for fun. She's doing it because she subconsciously believes he gave me something. I didn't show up. I don't want to miss it again. Good. That means step 1 worked. Now here's your move. You don't meet her where she is. You stay still. You let her emotionally stretch and then leave her hanging. Example, she says something like, yeah, I kind of have a habit of pushing people away when they get too close. I don't know why I do it. Most guys would lean in, ask why, validate her, connect. Not you. You look her in the eye and say calmly, yeah, you do seem like that type. No warmth, no comfort, no deeper dive. Then you look away. Ask if she wants another drink. Change the topic. Let the moment die. What just happened? She opened up. You acknowledged it, but stripped it of emotional weight. You showed that you noticed, but didn't care. That's the punishment. It's not cruelty, it's silence. Now her system is scrambling. She feels exposed, but unseen. She gave something real, and you handled it like she said the weather was nice. Here's the effect. She now regrets opening up, but also wants to do it again, better. She feels slightly ashamed, but wants to earn your emotional approval. She thinks, maybe it wasn't deep enough. Maybe I need to say more next time. You've now shifted her into emotional pursuit mode. Not of you, but of your reaction. She's no longer trying to get to know you. She's trying to earn emotional acknowledgement she never got. This is powerful because you're not rejecting her. You didn't shut her down. You didn't insult her. You just refused to meet her at the level she reached. And because that feels unfair, her brain wants to fix it. She thinks she opened the door and you didn't walk through. That imbalance becomes hers to correct. So next time, she'll open more. She'll be more obvious, more emotionally generous. She'll try harder to get the moment right this time, but you won't let her. Not yet. You'll smile, you'll listen, but you'll stay cold where she's warm, and her obsession will grow because she keeps giving and you're not giving back. Not out of cruelty, out of control. You've made her feel like she's behind, emotionally inadequate, and the only way to get back to equilibrium is to keep offering more until you finally say, now I see you. But you never will, because the longer she stays in that state, the harder she chases, and the deeper the loop gets. That's step 2. You didn't reject her. You let her fail quietly and gave her no way to fix it. Step 3, stack these loops and disappear. You've already made her miss emotional moments you gave her. Then you punished her when she finally opened up by giving her nothing in return. Now she's emotionally off balance in that subtle, anxious confusion that lingers. And here's what you do next. You vanish. You disappear. No explanation, no closure, no drama, just gone. This is not ghosting. This is strategic silence after you've already created an emotional storm inside her, one she thinks she caused. She's left sitting in the emotional wreckage of those little moments. That time she didn't know how to respond to your subtle vulnerability. That time she shared something personal and you gave her nothing. That weird tension between you that never broke. That hunger to finish a conversation that felt important but went nowhere. She's left with unfinished emotional business, and that's the most psychologically powerful debt you can leave someone with. Not a fight, not rejection, but a list of I should have moments playing on loop in her head. I should have said more. I should have asked what he meant. I should have opened up sooner. And here's the genius. She doesn't even know if anything was happening. She can't accuse you of anything. You never promised her clarity. You never promised interest. You were just there, mysterious, emotionally deep, slightly distant, and now you're not. So she blames herself. She thinks she read it wrong. She thinks maybe she wasn't enough. She thinks maybe she should have done more when she had the chance. You didn't chase her, but now she's chasing her own reflection in your presence. That slightly better, more open, more emotionally connected version of herself that only came out around you. And and now doesn't know where to go. She'll start checking your stories. She'll send that hey text just to test the waters. She'll try to re-spark the vibe because she misses the unfinished business you left behind in her head. And every time she remembers your silence after her emotional investment, it burns a little deeper. Not because she got rejected, but because she still doesn't know what you were, and her brain is addicted to figuring it out. Stack the loops, disappear, let her chase ghosts, and if you ever come back, she's already prepped, already vulnerable, already obsessed. But this time, when she comes back, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, you shouldn't keep acting this way with her all the time. You use this strategy as the foundation, then transition into a dynamic where she's emotionally hooked, but finally rewarded, slowly, selectively, on your terms. When you reappear, her system is still wired to chase resolution. She's hungry for closure, clarity, or even just emotional justice. She wants the loop to end. She's thinking, maybe this time he'll tell me what he meant. Maybe I'll finally figure him out. Maybe this time I'll handle it better. So when you come back, don't act like nothing happened, but don't apologize. Don't explain. You act like your absence was normal, natural. Say something like, I was just letting life breathe a little. You good? Or, some people need noise to stay connected. I like stillness. That frames you as emotionally detached. You weren't running, you were reflecting, and now you're allowing her back into your space. She won't get mad. She'll feel privileged. Why? Because she missed you. She was already in the loop. Now when you re-engage, you give her just a taste of the emotional clarity she wanted before, but not all of it. You validate one of her past moments. You acknowledge one of the things she said before you vanished. You say something like, I thought about something you said last time. You were right. Now her brain explodes. She's thinking he remembered. He cared. He just didn't say it. You just closed one loop and reopened 3 more. Now she's addicted again. But now it feels like progress. And now please listen to me carefully. Obsession doesn't survive forever, but emotional investment that's been earned through contrast can last years. You use emotional debt to start the addiction. Then you drip feed resolution just enough to make her feel like this might be going somewhere. And because of how it started, with failure, tension, and her chasing your reaction, she will value every little step she gets with you. It will feel like growth, like she tamed a wild animal, like she earned something most girls never got. And that's the illusion you want to leave her with. He never needed me, but somehow he lets me in. And this way, you'll have learned one of the most powerful strategies out there. And trust me, you won't find this anywhere else except in this video. You won't find it on Google, and you won't find it on ChatGPT. So please, all I ask from you is to hit the like button on the video. I love you. And that was the Dark Needle, and I'll see you in the next video.